Hey, I'm Mary and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my November TBR. So the month of November is actually my birth month. My birthday is this Sunday. I'm very excited. That being said, I do actually have quite a busy month ahead of me. This is the kind of end of the semester. My grad program is finishing just before Thanksgiving, so the next 3 weeks are going to be super duper hectic, and I'm a little stressed out, just like an eensy bit. But that being said, I'm going to try and fit in at least a couple of books. I do have 2 on my TBR that are 100% going to be read, and the others are all hopefuls. So without further ado, let's get into the TBR. So of course the first book that I'm going to be reading, well, not the first book, you never know like the way I'm going to be reading my books. I mood read, but I have a TBR that I like pick off of, if that makes sense. Anyway, if you're not aware, I am part of ɪṛ Along. I am a co-host alongside the lovely Katie from Katie's Book Nook. We did a live show on my channel last month for ɪṛ, and this month we have the live show for Math. So ᴛᴏ Mist and Fury is book 2 in the ɪṛ trilogy. We are reading 1 book a month leading up to the release of A Court of Silver Flames in February. So in November, the live show is going to be on Katie's channel, and as of now, that live show date is going to be the 28th of November. Please follow my social medias just to make sure that that date doesn't change. I always update and let everyone know what's going on, but this is one of the books I'm reading. Even though it is a bit of a chunker, it is one of my all-time favorite books of forever and ever and ever. So I don't anticipate it being an effort to read. The next book I plan to read is The King's 100. This is indie published by Karen Briggs, and I'm very excited. She sent me this to review, and she even left me like the cutest little note in the beginning. It says the Princess of Paperback meets the Princess of Capelon. So we follow Piper Parrish, and she is the youngest princess. She lives in a STEM-structured kingdom, and she's seen as a disappointment because she has an affinity for singing. When her parents mysteriously pass away, her sister ends up taking over the throne. Piper feels like she's even more of a disappointment now, and that she really just doesn't have a place. But then she ends up receiving a note saying that her mother is still alive and in the neighboring enemy kingdom. So Piper decides to prove her worth and escapes to the enemy kingdom to find out more about her mum. She ends up entering the King's 100, which is a performance court of singers, magicians, and drummers. She ends up falling into a world of glittering dresses, girl code, sugar, blackmail, and physical contact, all while taking directions from an evil manifesto. It sounds like it's going to be really fun, and yay! So I'm trying to get all my 5-star predictions read by the end of this year, and I'm kind of pushing a little bit close. So one of the ones I have left is Capturing the Devil by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the final book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper quartet. I have been putting this off because I love this series so much that I just don't want it to end. So this is book 1, Stalking Jack the Ripper. It is set in 1888. Audrey secretly studies under her uncle, who is a forensic scientist. She has to study secretly because she lives in an era where women are expected to be quiet, demure, and just pretty much be married off, and she comes from a very affluent family, which is why she's able to kind of sneak around and do these things. But when the Jack the Ripper bodies begin showing up in her uncle's mortuary, Audrey ends up deciding that she wants to figure out what's going on with these women, and she ends up trying to track down Jack the Ripper. I absolutely love this series. Like I said, Thomas Cresswell is another one of the students studying under her uncle. He is very snarky, very suave, very smooth, and I adore him with my whole heart. I highly recommend this series. I would also like to read Harvest of Sighs by Sierra Simone. This is book 3 in the, what is this series even called? The Lesson of Thorns series? I don't know. The book 1 is A Lesson in Thorns. So this follows a 6-person polyamorous relationship. It is shrouded in a lot of mystery, lore, and kind of pagan rituals. We have the heir, the dreamer, the priest, the genius, the socialite, and the saint. I really love this. It is a dark, polyamorous relationship with a lot of sex, a lot of intrigue, and I'm so excited to pick up book 3. And the last book on my TBR is another one of my 5-star predictions, and that is And I Darken by Kiersten White. Kiersten White's Paranormalities trilogy was one of my favorites when I was a young teen, so I'm really excited to read her newest trilogy. This is, I think, a gender-bent retelling of Vlad the Impaler, if I'm correct. So I'm very excited. It is centering the Ottoman Empire, and our protagonist is a kick-ass brutal lady. So I have some very high expectations for this, and I really hope it's a 5-star. I've been really slacking on like my 5-star predictions, or just like failing on them. I keep thinking they'll be 5 stars and they're not, and I'm like, well, I tried, so... And yeah, that's going to be my TBR for the month of November. It's not very ambitious, but yes, let me know what you are reading in the month of November and if you will be joining the ACOMAF live show. If you did enjoy this channel, please slap button down below if you want to see more of me. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, thanks a bunch. Bye!